Welcome back. It's Views of a Flick. Today it's just me and Sid. We're gonna be reviewing some horror stuff. I don't know if we want to change the name to this. I was thinking of something like Views of Horror or something. I don't know. But this is a different little segment we're gonna do where we review horror movies for the October month. It's probably gonna be a few. You know what I'm saying? Because we started so late. But I wanted to start on the 13th. But
shit happens.
Yeah. So today we reviewing Pet Sematary Bloodlines.
It's a prequel.
I was going that was going to be my very first question. Am I supposed to have prior knowledge to some of this?
So because you don't have prior knowledge, your views on this probably going your likes and dislikes probably going to be different from mine, because with prequels you have to make certain things add up, right?
Yeah.
Things not adding up.
Okay.
But for I'm gonna say this, for a movie, just overall a movie, it was okay. You know what I'm saying? It was Pet Sematary. It's what you expect from a Pet Sematary movie. So it was okay to watch. It's not rewatchable like some of the other Pet Semataries are, but
I was confused that. So Pet Sematary, the animals that was attacking people was seeking revenge for the ancestors or something, right?
No.
Or they was, because they showed them people. So it's these families. It's these 5 families or whatever, how many families in that town. Their job. Well, not gonna say their job, but they all band together and they protect the town from this quote unquote evil that's supposed to have been coming.
Yeah, they have to keep watch over it, right? Because the evil is the land itself.
Yeah.
The land, let's just say the land itself is possessed from whatever that happened way back when the Pilgrims came and settled America. We just gonna start
so it did
right
have
there.
something to do with the Pilgrims. I was like, hold on.
It always does.
What?
It always does.
We see this story before.
It always does. But yeah, it's the bad. The land is bad. You know what I'm saying? So the land is toxic. It's possessed, and anything that get buried there basically gets possessed and reanimated and comes back to life.
That dude's son, the main villain dude, he had been killed and buried.
Yeah, they just didn't show it.
I didn't know that. Well, I mean,
did you see the ring around his neck?
Yeah,
I guess he committed. I guess they implied that he committed suicide. You know what I'm saying?
But when the dog attacked the old girl, when he had already been dead and brought back, right?
Remember, that was his son that he pulled. Remember at the beginning when the hand came out and grabbed that dog?
Oh,
that was his son.
Okay.
And I guess he felt like his son just killed the dog, so I might as well go and bury the dog.
Yeah. I'm like, bro. And I'm like, I don't know. It just was confusing because I thought the main villains was the animals.
No. It's called,
I thought from Pet Sematary.
It's called Pet Sematary because it's behind, like they have an actual pet cemetery.
Right.
Then you have to go like behind it, further off into the woods, into the land that's toxic and possessed or whatever. And they buried it. The original movie is called Pet Sematary because the girl cat died. And they had a little cemetery for the little animals, but the neighbor told them to go bury the cat out in that land and wait, the cat to come back. So that's what he did, and the cat came back because the little girl wasn't ready to give up her cat.
Right.
Humans being as possessive as we are, okay, I buried my animal here when it died, so when they lose a loved one, they feel like they can go bury this person.
Right.
And that's where the horror comes in, where people starting getting killed and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that's where Stephen King, man.
Yeah, man.
Of course, this happens in Maine, like everything else Stephen King made.
So what was it? Some of the stuff that wasn't adding up for you? Because like I said, I don't have no real prior knowledge to
the guy, the main protagonist, right? The guy and his girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
That's actually the neighbor from the first Pet Sematary that told him to go bury the cat. This is just a prequel to him.
Huh?
Hold on. Yeah. But how old did this dude look in this movie?
Well, he had just came back from war.
No,
how old did he look?
No, he didn't come back from war. He wanted to go. So this was in.
Which dude wanted to go? Were you talking the dude who turned to the zombie? Or
No.
The dude
who.
He said he was going to the Peace Corps.
Yeah. How old did he look?
I mean, you mean real life or for the movie?
For the movie.
About 22, 23.
Gotcha. We both agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he's between the age of 20 and 25. We can say that, right?
Yeah.
This was 20 years prior to the first Pet Sematary movie because it came out in like 88. Okay. This was in like 68, right?
Yeah, 62. Well, at least that's what it said in that. What's the name?
In the first Pet Sematary movie, dude was like 70 years old. There you see, because when I first watched it, me having prior knowledge, I'm like, nah, that can't be him. David Duchovny or his dad would have been better off playing that role. Yeah. But consider they had him so young, I was like, this should have probably been back in the 40s or something. Because dude was hella old. His wife had died of old age and everything.
Well, I mean, maybe he was older. And we just don't know. Or did they say his age?
They was all around between. He was younger than 25.
Yeah,
he was younger than 25. So that didn't add up. And it was something that, is this a nitpick? He was mad because he wasn't getting drafted, right, to go to Vietnam, right?
The dude
that was going to the Peace Corps.
I thought he was leaving. I thought he was leaving because hold up, because I might have his story all wrong. Mm-hmm. I thought he had just came back, and he didn't want to do it no more. He didn't want to do war no more.
No, he had never went. That's why David Duchovny was mad at him, like, oh, so your daddy paid, so you ain't have to go, but my son had to go, and this and this.
Right. So he never wanted to go to war.
But it looked like they were both the only child, right?
Right.
They don't draft you for that. They wouldn't have drafted them for being the only. If they were the only child, they would not have drafted them.
Who? He had a little brother, didn't he?
Who had a little brother?
Hold up, the main character, he was the only child.
Yeah, both of them was the only child.
Damn.
They don't draft you for that.
Yeah.
Back then, I don't know what the rules are now, but back then they would not draft. Even if he was the only boy, they wouldn't have drafted him.
That don't make sense to me then. Like, why? I don't know.
That's why I said, granted, the movie
unless
overall.
Those families are like, we always went to war, so you got to keep going.
Then you can sign up.
Yeah.
You can volunteer to go.
Yeah.
Now, you can be the only child. You can be whatever. You can volunteer to go.
But
yeah.
You're saying if he shouldn't have had to pay.
Right. Yeah. He wouldn't have got drafted. So him looking at the draft board, seeing if he got drafted didn't make sense. They're not going to draft you. Yeah, even David Duchovny's son, the villain of the movie, he shouldn't have went because he was the only child. Unless I thought maybe maybe he volunteered to go. But his dad was mad, like they made him go, like they drafted him to go. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's why he was mad that the other son didn't go. That's why I'm like, nah, they ain't do their homework for this.
He was telling them, oh, if you stay here, I'm gonna have to do what I got to do to protect you.
Mm-hmm.
Then why wouldn't you send him to war? He wouldn't be here. Well, now I guess if I had a choice to send my son to active war and then you be by my side so I can protect you, I'm gonna pick the latter. But
right.
It seemed like, if you're trying to protect him from this evil, he wasn't going to be, never mind, because I don't know nothing about war.
But, it's just.
Let him go to the reserve or something.
The movie was cool. Like I said, the movie was cool, but they didn't do the homework like they were supposed to make this movie.
Why? People got to stop making movies and you're not a fan of the original.
People.
No, even in the they're in a writer's strike right now where it's almost over, or it should be over, one of the two. Maybe some of these writers just ain't getting the jobs they need, and they just taking anything. I mean, if I was out here and I was a writer and I couldn't get no job,
mm-hmm.
Pet Sematary hit me up. I mean, I know Pet Sematary. I know it is a movie, and maybe I have to go back and watch it.
You do some research, right? It was like, come on, man, like. Y'all didn't do the research to know that this main character, the hero of the movie, was too young to be playing this role. Like his whole character, the way they wrote him out, was too young to be the same person. Like I had to go back and look a couple times. Like maybe they got the names wrong. I had to go back and look a couple times.
Unless they're gonna make another prequel after this.
He still won't be old enough.
Like I said, the timeline.
Yeah, in the 80s, dude was like 70-some years old.
Damn. That nigga was born in the 10s.
Man.
But it was some stuff I did like about this movie. Even though I'm saying this alike, but I don't know how you can interpret it. But the grossness of the movie was, I mean, good for that type of stuff. I feel like because it grossed me. Usually, you can't gross me out of eating. I had to turn the movie off because I was eating. I said, "Hold on, let me turn this shit off because I'm trying to eat."
Which part?
The beginning well, no, not the beginning. The part when he started eating his dog.
Gotcha.
I'm like, oh no, I can't. Ooh. I'm like, I gotta turn this off.
Yeah.
Cause I forgot what I was eating. It kind of was similar, not similar, but it looked like. I was like,
I was
I
gonna
gotta
say
turn this
something
off.
real messed up.
Chinese food.
Yeah, you know I was gonna say.
Hey, and it might have been last weekend. If it was last Saturday, we did eat Chinese food, but I don't think it was. I don't know.
My nigga seen him eating that dog. He looked at his rice like,
Chinese food.
man, I don't even want it no more.
Oh man. But yeah, I like that. The acting was good.
Yeah, the acting was
The
good.
acting was good. So I mean, I appreciated that. But
Even the story, besides them not doing the homework to make everything line up, it was good. You know what I'm saying? It was cool. Like the whole concept of it during Vietnam. Obviously, the son came back home fucked up, so he hung himself, which a lot of young soldiers do, and that's what he was upset. And it made sense, you know. Man, when that dog bit old girl on.
Man, the sound, it was like, it sounded like somebody was biting into a ham. That sounded hella nasty. This movie, it did its job when it wanted to gross you out. That's for sure. But I was a little confused at the movie up until, I want to say up until the girl got killed. Because he stabbed her. He stabbed her up. And then she showed back up. I'm like, hold on. They zombies?
Basically.
I'm like, hold on, they basically zombies. So
Yeah,
I'm like,
basically.
what is this? So now it made sense when that dude peeled just because I thought he had something sharp on his finger. He was peeling his skin back on his finger. I'm like, why is he doing that?
Yeah.
I thought maybe, see, my whole thing about Pet Sematary, I'm going to tell you what I thought about it before I saw this. I thought Pet Sematary was some animals gave some people the rabies or something. Gave some people rabies.
You've never seen the original Pet Sematary?
No.
Hey, check it out.
I never wanted to, but this movie, I ain't gonna lie, this movie made me want to go. All right, well, I mean, now you saying it don't add up, but I mean, I guess I could do it.
You still could watch it.
Little 10-year age gap that they messed up on. There's a few things I could probably look over, but
yeah, it. Like I said, it was me nitpicking.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I like nitpicking though. But this movie, it was cool. Like you said, it was cool. I
But I'm gonna say this: this is not a good introduction to Pet Sematary. It's not. So the audience, if you've never seen a Pet Sematary movie, this is not a good introduction.
Even though it compelled me to go see the other ones, because something told me watch it before the review. But
I'm gonna say this:
I don't really care too much
because you're more. Well, let me go see what the other one's about. Most people not like that. They'll see this movie and be like, man, Pet Sematary some bullshit. I ain't watching the other stuff. Which the original Pet Sematary, because the original one, it's a remake that came out a couple years ago.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good to watch that because they differ, and the climax of the movie, everything plays out the same, but it's different. You have to watch it and see.
Yeah.
You watch it and see. You'll pick up on the difference real quick. Like, oh, that's what they're going.
And I was gonna say, like, the difference between I nitpicking, it won't cost them a grade for my nitpicking, but that's another conversation.
I'm gonna say this. The difference in cinema back then and now, we see a lot more. We see a lot more gruesome things, you know what I'm saying? But we also scaled it back towards on what's allowed in some movies. You know what I'm saying? What we see happen to certain characters in certain movies.
Like back then, you could have fucked the animal up.
And it's
like
not even
now,
the animal.
They don't even want to show that.
I'm gonna say this.
Because that's he should have fucked that dog up.
If they really remade a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, they kind of danced around the fact that Freddy was a child rapist murderer.
I didn't even know he was a rapist, but now that you're saying that,
yeah, he was a pedophile, man. They danced around it.
Yeah.
They just make it seem like he just molested kids. No.
Yeah.
The dude was a full-fledged pedophile. You know what I'm saying? But so nowadays, back in the 80s, this was what this character about. We seen a lot more horrific things happen to kids back then. Now we don't see so much. With the old Pet Cemetery, you know, it's kids in the movie. I'm gonna just say that. You know what I'm saying?
That I do remember. I do remember that. I thought he had a little brother in this. I don't know why I thought I seen a little brother.
But all in all, man, it's a cool Saturday or evening movie. You ain't got much to watch. Pop you some. No, don't pop no popcorn.
Yeah, don't eat nothing. Don't eat no food with it, man. Just watch it after you eat.
Yeah, smoke you some. Don't drink nothing red either. Just
yeah,
just go and check the movie out, man. Like
if you like gory stuff, watch this.
Yeah. But what would you grade this?
For it being my first Pet Sematary, I'm gonna give it a B minus.
Okay.
Because, like I said, I like the acting. The story was still good. But now that you're telling me some stuff was a little off, I mean, I ain't gonna drop it because of that. But it was cool. I mean, it was a little confusing at first, but then once they really give you what they need to give you to understand everything towards the end, which I don't know if that's good or not. You wait all the way to the end to
right.
But I give it a B minus. Close B minus.
Right. I'm gonna give it a C. I was thinking C plus, but now listening to you, I'm gonna give it a C. I'm gonna give it a C because the suspense that you would want that come from a horror movie wasn't there.
Man, now that I think about it, it didn't feel like a horror movie.
No, it felt like
some stupid
a gore
ass
fest or something. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing suspenseful about this movie at all. So it was nothing. Even when they did try to somewhat kind of jump scare you, nothing is there.
Leia watched this movie with me, bro.
Right,
that's how scary it was.
And it's probably not even a scary movie to her. It's probably just
she just said nasty
like
dog. She was like nasty dog.
The suspense not there. So I'm gonna give it a C minus.
Yeah,
it's something to watch, but you ain't got to run out to watch it. When you run out of other things better to watch, you could watch this.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all we got. Pet Sematary Bloodlines on Hulu, streaming and wherever you watch streaming, phones, iPads, computers. It's all right now. Check it out. You know what I'm saying? Leave a comment. Let us know what y'all think.
Yeah.
And we catch y'all on the next horror flick.
Peace out.